This year I've not gone out overnight in the van as much as I've wanted to. Don't get me wrong, I have gone plenty of places, it's not like I've just stayed home, but I've been put off by the weather. It's been one of the most miserable and wettest summers on record, but I have gone to places I haven't been in years. I've been to car shows. I went to the West Coast. But honestly, if I could redo the inside of the van, I reckon I'd be up for going out more. I've been watching videos recently of other van lifers, the likes of Love Sundays, and take a peek at this, where they've built up their vans from scratch. I mean, after all, according to Jeremy Clarkson,
how hard can it be?
Now, in case you're wondering, this is my happy shopping face. Don't confuse it with resting bitch face, they are different. Now, with the first few bits of framing and cladding bought, it was time to see if I could get this done. Obviously, the first step was to remove the old interior. I'm not doing this as an in-depth van build. If you want to watch that, there are plenty of other folk who do them. Because quite honestly, I've got no idea what I'm doing. I need to concentrate on actually working things out as I go. So I took off the old cladding, got the old beds out, and removed the old seat belts. I need to do this on a budget, and I've got to keep the third seat. There are two out in the front, one by the passenger door, and because I go out with my pal and a wee boy, we need to keep that one there. So everything has to work around that. I also have the slight complication in that I don't have one complete floor. Because there's a rear seat conversion, there's now the drop, and I have to factor that into all of my plans, and believe me, that's a lot harder than it looks. Other than that, I do have a blank canvas to work with.
Well, so far so good. Nobody's died. Still got all my digits, although there's still quite a bit of work to do, so... Next up, tongue and groove. Sorry birdie, this might get a bit loud.
In all honesty, I found putting in the uprights for the framing a good bit easier than I thought it would be. The trick to it is getting wood that bends to the shape of the van. Now, I don't really have anywhere to work. I've got no workshop, I don't have a garage. I'm doing this on street and round at friends' houses. I don't recommend this, but it's what I had to work with. Now, before I forget, a massive thank you to my neighbour Mike. He's an absolute legend. He's off at the moment, I was off for a few days, and between the two of us, we just fired on with this. We got the last of the framing done, the last of the cladding, and Mike pretty much cobbled the bed together for me. He's an absolute star, thank you. The old interior, if you remember that, well, it pretty much took up the entirety of the back of the van when it was in use. There was no room for anything else. All I want is a wee bed for myself and then somewhere to put my laptop, put my phone, put my dinner if it's absolutely chucking down outside. Oh, and I have to remember to reclad the back doors as well. Now, all things considered, time-wise, probably a full couple of days to do this, but I built so much of it and then had to remove bits and then rebuild. There was a lot of faffing about. Next time I do this, I've got a much better idea of what I'm doing. You helping? So with the van done, I was on my way to Glasgow. If you haven't seen it already, you can check out my trip to the West Coast in my last video. That was part of the reason for heading down the road. Now, I don't really know the area that well. I know my way around, but I'm not really sure on where I maybe should and shouldn't park. So I jumped back onto park for the night to look for recommendations. On the drive down, I'd stopped at my pals in Cumbernauld because I've not seen them in ages, and I kind of figured that maybe somewhere near there, it'd be a good stop-off point for the trip home.
yeah, I've made it to my park up. Bed's made it. Van's made it. I got the camshaft sensor, but it turns out, having spoken to an actual mechanic, you needed a timing belt because the sensor's hidden behind the pulleys. So I was a bit nervous about taking the van too far from home, but it's made it. Everything's still in one piece. I've managed to get some nice new battery powered lights, not off the van battery but off AA's, so I've got a stash of them hidden away. A few finishing touches to do. I need to get the curtain pulled back up, so for the time being I'm using the window cover things, but yeah, everything's checking out fine. So I'm going to grab some dinner, I'm going to turn in for the night, and then hopefully get up and explore in the morning.
Now, I'll get this out of the way first of all. I slept brilliantly. I don't know if it's because I was knackered from my exploring the day before, but I really did get a good night's kip. And even the hum of the Jenny from the burger van, well, that wasn't that bad. I'd parked far enough away from it.
Well, at least it's not raining outside.
The neighbours were okay too. I didn't really venture anywhere, I didn't see the point. I just wanted to get everything packed up and get back up the road and head home.
Should have filmed the view here, to be honest. It's amazing. So I'm waiting to rejoin the M80 and head back home. Yeah, I'm reasonably happy with what I've done to the van. It kind of works. I mean, the bed's permanently set up. I've got my little unit for putting the laptop, for putting dinner, for whatever. This was never bought as an ideal van. It's always just a sort of, say trial, but I guess it kind of is. You know, if I get another van after the Caddy, then I kind of know a bit better what to do and how to make it work. So it's definitely going to be a lot easier to go out and spend the night in this thing, and I might even be able to chance a couple of winter camps. Anyway, thanks as always for watching. If you haven't already done it, if you're watching this but haven't hit subscribe, do us a favour. Doesn't cost you anything. It's very Scottish. You can always give the video a like, and I'm also open to suggestions. Should I paint the tongue and groove? Do I varnish it? Do I stain it? Do I leave it the hell alone in case any more of it breaks? If you've got any suggestions on any sort of finishing touches for the inside of the van, I'm all ears. Useless at DIY apparently, but I am all ears, so yeah, hit us up in the comments below, and I'll catch you soon.